Hi guys. This is Ed Squared Podcast. Once again, we are bigger and better as compared to the last episode. This is episode number 16. My name is Austin Okinda.
And my name is Tina. And today we're talking about something so not so outspoken, but everyone goes through it, or you've seen someone go through it. Today we're talking about experiences in Kenyan matatus and PSVs. Call it what not, the Uber, the taxis, the Faras, the Bolts, what else? The Hanover, Trans, Metro, Super Metro, MSL, Zote, just name it, whichever.
Public transport, that is the name, and taxis. Anyways, we have all had some funny experiences, weird experiences, sad experiences, happy experiences in public transport. And believe me, the things that we never talk about, we just let them slide and think that, okay, it happened, so why should I talk about it? So today we're talking about them. And yeah, we've always been talking about relationships. How about we take a break from relationship? This is that podcast that we take a break from relationships. And let's have fun.
Yeah, and I'd like to start this on a note of if you feel like someone undermined you on a bus, in an Uber, in a matatu, and you felt like your peace was violated, your rights were violated, it is very important for you to file a lawsuit. If not, you can even just go to the police station. I know. It is very weird to go to a police station and tell them this guy spanked me on the matatu. I have his photo because it looks like this is something that is so normal.
But hiding his photo is, see, it's evidence.
But at times you feel like the police stations never listen to women. I don't know, but it gives me that.
Even, but okay, I don't want to say it's only women. I feel like both genders are affected. In that the police see it as an important matter. Yeah, it's normal to them. So yeah, people have had experiences. Some have tried going to the police station, or some have tried going to the courts. But yeah, it's like the system works against us. They never want to. They never want to put these people into account and tell them this is wrong. It just slides. Or maybe get a case waiting for around 3 years. After 3 years, I mean, see after 2 years, that is why you get some of this. It might be called kesi ndogo, but to me, I don't feel like they're little cases. It's important to talk about them. Yeah. So my very first experience is one that I watched on. I think it was there was this. There was on TikTok after uploading some videos. I was just passing through some videos. Then I saw this. There was a lady who was sitting. Then next to her was a guy who had a trench coat, and the guy was trying to touch the lady inappropriately. And I was like, why would you do such a thing? This one is an experience that is so weird, so bad, so disrespectful, happening in a public transport. And the man was asked, the man just went on defense mode. See me, Miss Jafana, and we're like, okay. So funny enough is the people who were around these people didn't even say a thing, and women were quiet. And I was like, really? Honestly, if it were me, and that was my sister, or that was a lady that I don't, I'll try and help out, because more often
The first question would be to the person holding the camera. I mean,
it was the lady.
you feel it was the lady.
It was the lady who was recording it, and she was. It was like she was taking evidence, so she was recording it so that people don't think she's lying. She was the one who was recording the photo, the video.
But we also saw a video of a lady who came out of the noisy buses. She was raped. And someone just recorded the video. It was during Corona, I think.
There was that one in Corona. Then there was another one, I think 2015, 16, somewhere around that, that time. 2015, 2016.
In as much as ladies should be conscious of wherever they are, I feel like a person just felt the urge to record. I mean, you're holding the camera. Something is happening to a mom, a sister, a daughter.
At times
It's just recording, and you're like, it will go viral.
I wonder
So
at times if these people really have
So that's
they have that humanity in their heart. I mean, how would you record such a
so that one is gender based.
yeah, GBV, man. It's an experience.
Yeah, we've also heard of men hitting on ladies and they feel like it's very right for them to do so in a disrespectful manner. And when they don't accept your advances, you start calling them names.
That is also the read because I mean,
Yeah.
as Middle men, why would you go in?
What's wrong with men? Do you feel like
But
deserve to live in this
but then
society?
I wouldn't limit it to men alone. There's some ladies who do that, and
But I don't feel like imefika
Yeah, they feel it.
yani normal.
society. You know, the society also thinks it. And for me, it's not about the society. We all have, both genders have these things, but the one that is talked about is what men do. And when a man does something, it's bad. But when the lady does the same thing, the society didn't talk about that. You get it? So your point is okay, but I feel like men were affected.
I feel like all ladies should just let us know in the comment section if you've been a victim
Yeah.
GBV on public transport and people just look at it as it's normal. The only person who can react negatively will be your parent, but they'll be like, kwani wewe ulifanya nini? They feel like you are also responsible for going through it in a way.
And
Maybe
that's why,
blaming it back on ladies.
that's why I hate parents at times. I mean,
Hate is a strong word.
no, let me just use it the way it is. You know, when I come to you as my parent, I tell you this happened, then you're like, you're just there blaming me. And didn't you get what I said? Didn't you get my pain? I mean,
So, to any lady who is a victim, or if anything ever happens to you, make use of your camera. I mean, we all have these things. Make use of a camera, and I feel like it is very important for a woman to stand up for a woman.
and
Never
hey,
sit back
Oh.
and see a fellow woman being torn down, and you're there. I wouldn't be so comfortable.
and please, it doesn't mean that it's only women who are.
Yeah, even men.
Even men. If if maybe there's some ladies who are
Yeah.
making funny advancements to you, and you feel like it's not appropriate.
But I feel like women, we are the weaker gender. There's nothing we can do about
Are you sure? It's because the society says that. Believe
not
me,
the society.
Skia, believe me, there's some men who are weak. Naturally, wako too evil. And not all of us are.
Okay, I'm giving.
Maybe I'm strong. Maybe I'll see something and be like, Achana na. That's some boy so weak. How is it for anything? I mean, maybe the way they were brought up. Also, how you were brought up also depends on how you'll be. Yeah. So the GBV thing, a very serious thing that happens in public matatu that people don't talk about. Yeah. What is your other experience in the matatu?
Body stereotyping. We find, hey, kwanza hizi gari za Eastleigh. I don't know what's wrong with those buses, but zinaponga za color red. Is it Nitich, whatever you can call that, Nishet, whatever way you pronounce it, they have thin seats. You can find kiti inatoshana hivi, but the passenger mwenye anaingia ni where she is a plus size or he is a plus size. Then someone will be like, I can't sit here because I'm a plus size. Or conductor tells you that if you sit here, you pay for 2 seats. That is body stereotyping.
I mean, it's an experience that most of us have had.
Or even a person who is okay, I know this may look like it's very normal, but I know these people at times feel bad. You can enter a bus na kiti imebaki, you have a plus size person sitting there, then space imebaki kidogo. Do you know that person will not sit there simply because they want to be comfortable? They'd be like, I can't sit there because her space imeisha. These people usually feel bad by this.
And still talking on that, I don't know why men, and I want to ask men, why do you usually sit with your legs apart in okay, I understand. I understand why, but not all times should you sit that. You know, when the chair has a space that you're supposed to be sitting. So no, then the next person. So once you spread your legs, they're apart, you interfere with the next person. And the next person,
I've been a victim of this thing. I feel like, no, sorry,
it even happens to
I
us.
always sit and I'm like, God, I just pray the lady, a person who comes to sit next to me is a lady and she's like,
But
because I don't want to struggle with someone who just wants to
Hata sisi first
ukisonga ye pia amesonga.
see, the way my body is too small. They're mess. Okay, vile mi ni mdogo. There are those people when I sit next to, I'll just get annoyed with. And I have a problem with, I won't mention who they are, but the same way you said people from Isili, I have a problem with people from Isili. I don't know why you usually sit with your legs heavy.
No, I feel like it's channeled in bed to all the so yeah, we understand that they have the part that needs air, space.
So, sisi ambao tunaketi
Yes.
hivi,
But it is
No.
not good to make someone uncomfortable simply because you want to make yourself
okay, I usually put my legs apart, but not to a point that the next person. Yeah. I mean, just sit properly. Another thing about the same is this plus size people.
take advantage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone comes sit next to you, then anajua vizuri sana that the seat is too small. Then he or she wants to sit there, then atakusukuma to the other part to a point that uko karibu kuanguka, and they're looking at you like, utafanya nini? I mean, we know na mwili ndogo na mwili kubwa, but it doesn't mean that you just have to push me. There's a better way of doing things. And that is why unapatanga sasa there are these people who when they see some plus size people, atachukua bag zake yake hapo sema nalipa. Out of nowhere, atalipa the chair. Not because akona pesa or the person is showing off, but just because they want to be comfortable.
But that's allowed. I mean, you don't want to interfere with someone else. So I feel like, yeah, we love the plus size people, but still, we need to be graceful.
Yeah, exactly.
Next, we shouldn't stereotype the plus size people and say that, oh, pay for 2 seats because you're a plus. No,
So there's a reason I swear that. Yeah, they usually feel
I feel like it's an obligation. It's a step that you need to make yourself and say, okay, I'm a plus size. I'll just pay for 2 seats if it's too bad.
so. Matatu have experiences out here.
Yeah. What's your next?
Another thing is this one I want to talk about the conductors and some few people. Have you ever been in a matatu? Then the conductor leaves the arm. Then whatever comes from this part, they smell you like,
I feel like it's everyone else who anyone who comes into a matatu and if
those are this.
hygienically oriented properly, even the conductors.
One day I was still young. I've ever said this in a previous podcast, I'm sure. I was in a matatu, then a lady came in. Dressed smart, smartly dressed. Hey, smartly dressed. Smartly dressed. The makeup was on point. Everything. But now, aliposhika that chuma, I had to turn back and look at the people who were the other side. Reason being, whatever smell was coming from this part. And I was like, what other people be?
The Joshua was strong.
Oh, yeah, it was too strong. It was too strong. So I feel like some of this, it's not even matatus alone. When you travel up country, at the trains, there are people who don't shower. It's like them and water is just there's just I don't know what to call it.
But you can't single out someone and tell them unalika jasho.
Exactly. That is.
It is very important for you as an individual. Take the initiative. You're going to use public transport. You'll be around so many people, and for you not to interfere with them, and for you not to be interfered with, you need to shower. You need to.
But try and tell that to a conductor. Utajibiwa. These are the people. I don't have a problem with people who bought the public transport. My problem is these conductors. They know very well they'll be working from morning till late in the night. Hana roll-on, doesn't have anything, hapendi kuoga, anywhere. The jasho is too strong for your nose. And hapo ndo sahiyo, ameka mkono hivi. Anauliza mtu wa nyuma, pesa. I don't like, really.
They're so confident.
At times I usually I get into a matatu, open the windows immediately. Not because I want
for me, I will always open the window.
Dude, I don't want to be surprised. I don't want to be surprised. Though there are some that are very clean, and you're like, okay, I should get it.
Wait, but I usually appreciate clean conductors. I'm like, oh man, Peter, and you smell nice.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, that's a.
There's this Luo saying that says, where you walk is where you eat. I mean, where you work is where you eat, and where you eat is supposed to be clean, right? You need to be smartly dressed. There's this other thing that says, dress like you want, dress like you own the bank, right?
Again.
I mean, where you work is where you eat, so be smartly dressed. Look here, vizuri. I know Rexona, and I know Nivea right now is so expensive. Rexona is there. If Rexona isn't there, there's so many others that you can use.
Marashi za 100.
And if it's so expensive, we have natural ways in which we won't talk about today because we have talked about it in previous episodes. I feel like today is a recap of so many other episodes. Yeah. So
My next point is loud music. Gosh, I hate loud music. The moment I enter a bus and I start hearing loud music, na feel ni kama nasikia joto. Litashuka. Because at times it's just too loud or overwhelming. I mean, we all need a peace of mind, but we all have preferences. Kuna wale watu by the way wanapenda hizi basi. I don't wanna call them gangster buses because unapata imepakwa rangi.
I think
The windows are tinted. The hoofers are list. They're even bigger, and it has just too much steel, too much zen.
I mean, Lugha ya mtaa, they call it nganya. I think that is the word. I'm not even sure.
Yeah,
What's the meaning? You know, I'm trying.
brother saying that.
It's nganya, I think. I'm not that fluent when it comes to Shen because I'm trying to work on my Swahili so that when one day I'm out there. So I think they're called nganya, the latest one in town. I mean, hiyo ndo kusema. So they have this loud music. I don't have a problem with the music. The problem that I usually have
Things that happen in there.
the loudness. You know, the loudness, one, you might not hear what someone else is saying, or maybe someone is being attacked kule nyuma.
And you won't hear.
You can't get it. I mean, it's too loud. Another thing, the conductor just assumes, unamwambia nishukisha hapo mbele, then assumes aja kusikia, alafu they start saying the music was too loud. And you're like, bro, I came close to your ear, told you nishukishe. Has it ever happened to you? Then with the music thing, also the taxis. So now you get into it.
Oh,
You
you
don't-
guys have loud music.
Some of them you really don't want.
Just the one thing them you can.
You really don't want to listen to music, but the driver doesn't ask or doesn't even care.
Also, they should ask.
Yeah.
It's a cut.
I mean, in taxis, you as the customer, you should say what you want. There's that policy that defines how the customer and the driver should relate. So when I get into a car, there are things that I want, there are things that I don't want. I'll give another point. My next point, I don't know, should I give my next point?
Yeah, give you next.
Okay, another problem when it comes to taxis is when I don't want to talk, don't force me into talking. There are these people in public transport that usually want to talk, and it affects the conductors, the drivers.
No, they just assume you can always talk.
Yeah, I mean, when you see me getting into a matatu and I'm silent, don't try and talk to me. You don't know what I'm passing through. There's a friend of mine that told me he actually was doing he was a driver sometimes back. So when he was doing his work, he told me that their customers, when you are driving a taxi, you'll meet different types of people. There are those people who don't like music. There are those people who don't like to talk. There are those people who are the complete opposite. So when I get into a public transport, if I don't want to talk, don't force me into talking. That is what is supposed to be there. But most of the people you get that they don't want to listen to this, and this affects the Uber drivers mostly, and some matatu drivers. I feel like,
Okay, as for matatu, I feel like it's quasi control.
but there was a day we were with you, then we got into some matatu. I mean, this driver was just talking to a point that he was arrested. And I was like, I was happy. To me, I was happy because he was talking too much, making no sense. And we were just talking our own things. Then he comes in and says, oh, do you know?
Nikuchichocha.
If you're not invited, it's a very weird and funny experience. Why would you talk to someone? Come attack Ongena. Public transport is just something crazy. I mean,
Also, in the PSVs, we have the issue of ignorance, either to what you tell the conductor or the driver. So the conductor, I would say, you tell the conductor nataka kushuka at this place, then anapitisha. Then they act like everything is just okay, everything is just normal, we shuka. just go out, even give you money for you to go and look for another car to commute back. And as for the driver, I would say ignorant. Either to the rules of the road, they want to overspeed, they want to drive the way they want to drive, not caring that the passengers I'm carrying are also humans.
Yeah.
And at times we can feel the driver really struggling with the brakes. Okay. As for me, I'm not okay. Mimi Siringi, I'm like, I know I've been driven by my dad like almost my whole life. The only time I started using public transport was when started going back to high school. Like ukitoka huku kwenda Kisumu, we used to use buses. So I would notice when the driver is struggling with the brakes, and it freaks me out. I can even start sweating in a bus. I'm overspeed. Mpaka unasikia the brakes are really screeching. Ye pia brakes zake ni kama zinaisha. Ako karibu tu kugonga gari nyingine or even kugonga mtu. I mean, they don't take into consideration that the number of people I'm carrying, kuna wale wanapenda speed, kuna wale hawapendi, kuna wale hawatrust these public transport vehicles.
But have you ever noticed that when a driver is overspeeding and maybe they see an incoming accident, somehow they see what is ahead of them, right?
Yeah.
And if they know they can't avoid it, the driver mostly will give the left side to be most affected with the whole thing,
Yeah.
and not their side.
Yeah.
So I'm usually like, okay, you overspeeding and you knew very well kutakuwa na accident. Why would you do such a thing? Patiana side yako, you go.
But for family cars, I usually see the driver giving side because it's like truly.
For family, there's no way I'll let my children and my wife die. Hata tupatiane side, let me die or let me get injured seriously, but then they survive. So you were talking about
Because ignorance.
Yeah, you're talking about ignorance. There was a day I think there was a matatu. There's this language that the driver used. I don't know, terminal and all that. So we were on some hill. So that climbing part, gari kazima katikati. So I was like, the driver knew very well from start that the car had problems. Instead of using another, I don't mind if you use a long route, but provided there's nothing like gari kuzimika katikati, I'm okay with that. The driver knew very well that gari na shida, still anaenda kuanzia kupanda. He had to turn, ashuke, then telling us that sasa what you doing nyinyi endeni tu. And I was like, really?
Na pikisha nusu ya, but like ni kama hata mjafika destination.
You're ignoring the fact that your car, your vehicle has a problem. Yeah.
But I feel like they mostly ignore customer service. They just think Nick to reja.
For them, it's money and time. I don't know, the more trips they go,
because we're the ones
money.
who need it.
Yeah, so they know very well. Hata tukicomplain, they'll still go.
Mbeba
watu wengine. Money na flow.
What's in it?
Another experience is when it comes to parents with children. I'll give it in two forms. Number one, there is parents when they get into a matatu or maybe a train or a bus for that matter. For ndege, I can't really talk about it because
Ndege has
so strict. It's so strict. Uko, I wouldn't touch.
Traveling buses like Easy Coach, they have regulation.
Yeah, but kuna wale wazazi vichwa ngumu. You know very well that you haven't paid for your child, and then unasikia kidogo the mother is saying, "Ebu enda kwa auntia kubebe." My friend, I paid my 1500 or whatever price.
And carry the child.
No, I don't do that. On a serious note, I'll just tell you, I also have things that I do. Or I'll just fake a condition. I'll tell you, my hands haziko sawa sana, so I can't.
Why can't you just say no?
No,
You're allowed to say no.
Yeah, I'm allowed to say no, but I do it.
So
I'm do it.
I feel like I've always so assertive. Let's say somewhere.
I usually do it in a polite way. Okay. There are times I'll do it in an aggressive way. There are times I'll just look at you and say, okay. I'll look at you first. For a mom, I have that soft point for mothers. So, yeah, I won't really tell you.
You know.
So, I'll be like, okay, so, kuna wale, there's that one. Then, kuna this other one, maybe you're eating something. Okay? Then,
Janunulia
mtoto. I've had this experience. This day I was traveling back to Sharks. So this day, it was a bus. So sitting behind, there was this lady who was there. The child is just there, seated. I was eating. I had to give this girl my foodstuffs. Akule. Because she was looking at me in the macho zingine. Then reaching somewhere, the mother told her, usijaribu kuchukua. And I was like, hujamnunulia? Why are you stopping her from taking it? So, kuna hour, they just...
For a stranger, let me just say,
But really, I had no problem.
good stuff.
I just felt like it was bad. So, this experience usually, the children are the ones.
Suffer.
Yeah. I mean, unanipatia mtoto wako, mimi simtaki. Then, so there's this other experience. So, you're just seated, then a child starts crying. Then, the parent starts using you as a scarecrow. Actually, nyamaza ama ankwata kuuma. I mean, nyamaza ama ankwata kuuma. Am I that ugly for you to say that ankwata kuuma? Ama antiata kuuma? I mean,
This scarecrow.
parents usually have weird examples and weird things. Ati nyamaza ama ankwata kuuma. And then you've worn your makeup, did everything. Ziko sawa. Then nyamaza ama ankwata antiata kuuma. Damn, why would you do that?
I think my point is Zimeisha. Apart from the fact that some conductors are so rude, I think this is. I started with saying that I haven't seen a person who has filed a case simply because it is also expensive. And this gives the conductors a leeway to always do it, be rude to everyone, anywhere, anyhow. And they feel like they are truly not held to account. And it builds that behavior. Sijui kama
I mean,
ni ethic ya kukua conduct.
Yeah.
Lazima ukue.
exactly. That was my question. Is it they usually go to a certain school where they're taught to be arrogant?
I feel like there should be a school for conductors. Mi sasa nimepea idea because kazi yao ni kitenga. You can also tenga and give us
Watenge milioni kadhaa for that. Because I feel like these conductors usually go to one school where they're taught to be rude, arrogant. I don't know. They're usually violent. And you wonder, hii vita yote, where does it come from? So you're there in a matatu, or I'm driving my personal car. They usually call my cars. So I'm there in my car, and it truly, you as a driver, you just think that this path that we're using, it's either I pass before you or we don't pass it. Then conductor out of nowhere comes, smashes my side mirror and says, "Ni wewe umejileta." And you're like, really?
But that's how driver.
Both of them can do the same. So, and if the driver is arrogant, be sure the conductor will be the same. But for drivers, at times, I think for drivers, aggressiveness at times is required, but not always. But for conductors, 24/7, arrogant.
We saw this happening at Odeon. I remember that day we got in the stage and we were waiting, tukapanga line. The MSLs with the line. It's okay. I know you want an award, but at times it's exhausting. I just had to say it. Then we saw
It was a small car, and
it was. I think if it's not Paso, it's Raul. To Paso. So the Paso was coming from this other side from the Mwe Avenue. Then ikakuja ikacross. It ikapiga corner. Then the MSL came and hit the car. Then the other conductors ganged up on the Uber person, telling him that he has insurance, akona insurance, they cannot compensate, they cannot do what. Then there's this lady who became so horrible.
I was like,
they were even
so they started playing around with the car, and there's a point they wanted to lift the car, and they had started on one side, and the guy was inside. I was like, really?
and the police officer was just there watching, very normal. If I were the person who would have filed for an assault.
So there's this other, I don't know if those...
This is harassment?
That is harassment. There's this other lady, she actually knocked someone by mistake, and she apologizes. She she said that she'll take that person to the hospital. But then what was it's like it was completely different. And it was agreed upon by the police and the lady, and that person was hit. So after the police lady went, things changed up. They started, I don't know, they wanted to, no, they did something. Yeah, they did so many weird things on her.
If you want that video, it's around, just look for it.
So there are these things that we've talked about. I'm sure we've not exhausted them. It was just a brief session where we talked about what has been happening. But hey, the things that they're so funny that they happen in this public transport, and you're like, is it really appropriate for it to happen? And you can't do anything about them because for matatus, the conductors and the drivers, they feel so entitled to whatever they do, whether it's wrong, whether it's right. For them, it's just normal. For the Uber, I think people should now understand that you as the passenger, you're the one who is paying the person. You should talk and tell them, I don't want this, I don't want this. But when I usually get into taxis, I never want to talk to anyone. I just want to be left alone. Because I don't know when we start talking what you'll think. But there are these people, okay, I'll just say hi to you. If you want to talk to me about something that I believe is important, I won't say no. But mostly I try and avoid conversations with these people. Because I don't know why you're involving me in such a conversation.
As we're wrapping up, I think my point is in Asia. I would only like to let you know that you always have a right to being treated respectfully and properly. And if you feel like someone has infringed your rights or someone has made you feel like you're embarrassed, you have a right to follow it up, either with authorities, either with gender-based. But for ladies, I really recommend GBV.
We have the feeder.
Yeah, I recommend that. You can take the bus number, the number plate, you can take the person's picture. I mean, these things are possible as long as we try.
Yeah, the only problem is that we are afraid of trying.
Because it is made...
Yeah, it's made to look normal. So my other thing is, as we wrap up also, is that when you see something isn't going right, talk about it. If you feel like the driver isn't driving in a nice way. And I usually love Somalis for one thing. They will always talk. They'll tell the driver, what's up to speed, unatuendesha vibaya. Those stills in a car. The driver was told, sisi sigunia, drive appropriately, don't overspeed, pit short kwa bumps, pole pole, hatuna haraka. We kama una haraka, ngoja tushuke. So I feel like talking is important. So whether you're using taxi, the matatus, talk about it when you see something. No one will take you to court because of saying something that is right. If you feel it's wrong, tell them it's wrong. And if you feel like you can't continue the journey a bit, nishikisha hapo, mimi nimefika mwisho. I'd rather alight somewhere that isn't close to my place for my safety than stay there then niende nife huko mbele. It's not good. So yeah, that was it. I mean,
yeah,
that was it for the 16th episode.
Yeah, so let us know if there's anything you are a victim of, a situation that you've seen happening to someone else, anything that you feel that needs to be addressed in the public transport. You can let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share. We were thinking of holding a live where Instagram.
It was Instagram.
So I would like to know what you want us to address, anything that you want us to talk about specifically according to your taste and preferences. Before we add our own things, we want to know what you want us to talk about. So feel confident to DM us on Instagram, TikTok. Also the comments in YouTube, if you feel like you're very confident with your identity,
your experiences, and you feel like no one will interfere with anything you say, Ama they'll judge you. Talk to us about it.
Yeah.
So Instagram, remember it's Let's Square It podcast. I think podcast. And is it TikTok is Alcina_25. Yeah. So YouTube 12 on this. Yeah. So we'll share what we will be talking about in the live and when it will be.
Yeah, we will set the date.
Yeah.
And let you know, and we will be very humbled to post you.
Yeah. So, be blessed. See you in the next episode.